Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Chesterton's Jest, where we keep a critical eye on faith and culture, especially within the Catholic Church today. In an age where even church teachings seem to be shifting, we're here to explore and question the ideas and changes that challenge timeless truths. Through thought-provoking, often humorous perspectives, we aim to bring clarity to conversations others might avoid, holding fast to orthodoxy with the courage to question what feels off track. If you would like to join us as we dig deeper into the faith with reverence, wit, and a touch of Chestertonian insight, you can support this channel by gently pressing the like, share, and subscribe buttons in that order, and we thank you for your support. And now, without further ado, the tyranny of tolerance, how the West forgot its soul. Chapter 1. The Rise of the Tolerant Tyrant. It all began innocuously enough, a well-meaning virtue, a bright little seed planted in the fertile soil of the Enlightenment. Tolerance, they said, is the key to a harmonious society. But, as we all know, the road to perdition is often paved with the best intentions. So, what began as a kindly suggestion soon turned into a full-fledged political movement. You see, tolerance, in its purest form, is a soft-spoken gentleman who quietly accepts the differences of others. But, in its most tyrannical manifestation, it is a loud-mouthed zealot who demands not only acceptance, but worship of every view under the sun, even those views that should rightly be left to rot in the basement of history. Chapter 2. The Plague of Everything is Equal. In this new age of boundless tolerance, every opinion, no matter how absurd, must be treated as equally valuable. The eternal verities of faith and reason are suddenly reduced to the same level as the latest harebrained philosophy penned by some self-appointed guru of modern thought. Who are we to say that the laws of logic are any more valid than the whims of a confused poet or a self-declared shaman, they ask. Well, let me tell you, we are the people who still believe in common sense. Tolerance has become a plague that dulls the very faculties we need to differentiate truth from error, good from evil, and a meal from a gourmet disaster. Chapter 3. The Confusion of Freedom. The original idea behind tolerance was simple. Everyone should have the freedom to express their ideas without fear of persecution. But now, freedom has turned into a monstrous Ouroboros that eats its own tail. It is no longer about freedom to speak, but freedom to speak without responsibility. The modern world, under the guise of tolerance, has confused the pursuit of individual liberty with the degradation of communal values. Freedom is now synonymous with indulgence, where anything goes as long as it doesn't impinge upon the fragile sensibilities of the easily offended. What was once a noble pursuit of liberty has become a parade of moral decay, like letting every man in the village declare himself king, only to watch the kingdom crumble. Chapter 4. The Collapse of Authority. The tyrant of tolerance does not wield a sword, but a gavel. It is not an authority that commands, but one that nags, constantly reminding you that your beliefs are wrong and must be corrected to fit the ever-expanding parameters of what is considered acceptable. The modern age, in its misguided wisdom, has attempted to dethrone authority in favor of egalitarianism, but in doing so, it has ushered in a new, more insidious authority, the reign of the opinion. From the media to social networks, everyone is suddenly a self-declared expert, and woe betide anyone who dares to question the sanctity of the latest opinion on the ever-changing market of ideas. Authority is mocked, and the people are left to wander in a wilderness of conflicting ideas, led by the false prophets of tolerance who demand total submission. Chapter 5. The Death of Virtue. In the brave new world of universal tolerance, we no longer teach virtues, we teach tolerance, and it is a virtue that has become a vice. The virtue of courage, for example, has been replaced by a feverish desire not to offend, and the virtue of honesty has been sacrificed on the altar of political correctness. When was the last time you heard anyone boldly speak the truth, even at the risk of being labelled intolerant? Gone are the days when we would stand up for what is right, even in the face of ridicule. Instead, we live in a culture of moral relativism, where the truth is malleable, and the only sin is to dare to suggest that some things might actually be wrong. Chapter 6. The Church and the Cult of Tolerance. The Church, once the beacon of unchanging truth, has not been immune to this new religion of tolerance. The faithful are now encouraged to tolerate every manner of error, from heresy to outright sacrilege, all under the banner of love. What could be more glorious than a world where the Church teaches, not that we must follow Christ, but that Christ will tolerate us all, no matter how much we may stray. But let us not be fooled. This isn't love, it's indulgence, and indulgence is not mercy. It is simply the slow and steady death of the soul. The Church should stand firm in its teachings, not sway with the winds of the latest cultural trends, no matter how tolerant they may seem. Chapter 7. The Future of the West, a World Without Boundaries. We stand at the precipice of a brave new world, one where tolerance reigns supreme, but so too does the madness it has birthed. Without boundaries, without any sense of objective truth, we are left to chase after the fleeting comforts of acceptance, while the very foundations of our civilization crumble beneath our feet. The West has become a sprawling land of contradiction, where anything goes as long as it doesn't challenge the fragile egos of the tolerant. But in the end, what happens when tolerance is stretched so thin that it can no longer hold the weight of reason, faith, or even common sense? It implodes, and in its place, a society of moral chaos will rise, where the only thing left to tolerate is the absence of virtue itself. Chapter 8. The Return of the Soul. It is time to recognize that tolerance, in its current form, has become a tyrant, a self-righteous, omnipotent ruler that will brook no challenge. The West, in its pursuit of an open, inclusive society, has lost its soul in the bargain. It is time to recover that soul by reminding ourselves that true tolerance is not the acceptance of everything, but the respect for truth, virtue, and faith. Only then can we rebuild the civilization we once knew. And until then, let us say what must be said. We cannot tolerate the tyranny of tolerance any longer. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed today's video and share our passion for defending the true faith with a touch of humor, be sure to head over to chestertonsjest.com and check out our collection of bold, pro-Catholic graphic tees designed to spark conversation and inspire conviction. Whether you're looking to wear your faith proudly or share a laugh, we've got something for everyone. Visit us today and join the movement, because in times like these, it's more important than ever to stand firm in our beliefs with style and wit. As Chesterton once said, a madman is not someone who has lost his reason. A madman is someone who has lost everything except his reason. So, let's keep our reason and our faith intact together. Thanks for listening. God bless you, and may the good Lord be praised.